CarawanCo presents a CarawanCo puzzle production. An unboxing, construction, and review. Hello everyone, and welcome to CarawanCo.PuzzleProductions, where life is a puzzle. Got two puzzles from UGears for you today. Well, sort of. This one is actually a something of a teaser. I'll be doing it during the finale to the update videos. So put that one aside for now. Both of these puzzles come from the UGears STEM Lab. Supposedly it's an acronym for something. But anyway, the thing about the STEM Lab is it's full of practical puzzles. Some of them, including this one and the one I just placed over there, can be used by adults. So I question why they market this to children. I mean, market it only to children. So yeah, let's. This is supposed to be a measuring tool. Supposed to be able to use it to measure around oblong surfaces, like things that aren't straight, and things that can be well, things that a regular tape measure wouldn't work with. So, let me grab my knife, and I will break open the plastic here. Got my knife? Let's get to cutting. Okay. Now, this comes out of an easily removed, supposed to be, easily removed, yeah, there we go, sleeve, and nicely open box. Now, this puzzle and the other one I showed you actually came in a postage sleeve. So, this time I did not get it as just like this. I believe on the site they say that it's supposed to it's supposed to take about an hour to build. I guess it's just the minimum standard. Just the standard minimum assumption, because I've yet to see anything on that site that's supposed to be 30 minutes or less or anything like that. According to this, it has 109 parts, DIY, and ages 8 and up. Now, my dad used to say if it says 8 and up, why that really means is like 8 to 10 or 11 or something. But let's face it, anyone who is 8 years old or older should be able to do this. And on the front here, it says it's natural. I guess that means it's made out of wood and natural parts. No glue connection. Safe assembly. I didn't know assembly could be dangerous. Mechanical. Duh. It's a UGears model. I'd be surprised if it wasn't mechanical. Well, and educational. Now that's the thing with this measuring tool. It measures in inches, feet, yards, I think. Now, I can see on the picture here, inches, centimeters, meters, and feet. Now, only it's designed in a step-up design, a step-up system. So I'm assuming that the only way you can actually do that is by some sort of gear differential system in there, where some gears spin faster than others. Well, I'm rambling at this point, so let's get to building. And for this, I'm going to switch you to the overhead. STEM Lab in big, bold, colorful letters. Down here it tells the the acronym for it. It's going to be too tiny for you to see on camera, so I'll just read this out. What? S. Science. Hands-on, exciting educational projects. T. Technology. Interactive mono kit and dedicated AR study guide. AR? I'm assuming that doesn't mean augmented reality. But if I got something that's a virtual reality here, then they're giving away that stuff for cheap now. E. Engineering. Wow, that one's actually kind of hard for me to read. It's thinner letters and it's all yellow against brown. In-depth learning about widely used mechanisms. And finally, M. Math. Encourage creativity, logic, and experimentation. Big word for an 8-year-old. On the bottom of the box here, it says, learn how it works. I guess you would pretty much have to if you're building it. Ooh. There. Yeah, there we go. Okay, we have 4 layers of wood. I'll show that a little clearer later. The instruction booklet on the back. Handbook of a Young Engineer. Curvimeter. Handbook of a Young Engineer. And it's a booklet with different languages. That's all you get here. All the description you need is apparently on one page alone. Welcome to the engaging and so cool world of science, technology, engineering, and math. Let's see. It's just I think it's just describing the what you'll find if you scan the QR code here. Not sure if you can do that from this image. Let's see. Stuffing. Or spacer, whatever you want to call it. Ooh, got another box here. Kind of a thick one, too. For the rubber band and wax. This takes up about quarter of an inch, maybe. That's a lot of packaging. What were they trying to save space for? They're trying to have all the packages have the same thickness or something? There's some sort of standard code for that? Alright. Now let's open you up. Come on, you. Yeah, there we go. Instruction booklet. Not quite sure why they went with a half color, half black and white thing here. Odd choice. Four sheets. Alright. Let's get to building. Okay. So. Sheet 3. The tool, conveniently located on the edge. Another tool to add to the collection. And it's got, not sure if you can see that, it's got measurements in it. 0 to 15. And they're not cut all the way through. Pay close attention to how these are labeled. This has an R on it. This has an R on it. This has an L on it. Check mark here. This piece is completed. Wide rubber band. Sheet 4. Extra tools. These little horseshoe-shaped pieces. They are here solely to assist you with putting this on. Rubber band seems to be thinner in some places. Yeah. Wide coverage on this side, thin coverage on this side. And we have another check mark. Oh, and it's showing you that if the rubber band isn't placed on the grooves, oops, you did it wrong. At least I can tell where I started and stopped. I should have done this for the other one. It wasn't in the instructions, but it feels like I should have. Another check mark. Got another check mark right here. Okay. That's a lot of wax flakes. Okay. Another check mark. More waxing. I need to make 3 of these. More check marks. Something's not right. And yet it should be. I guess I'm just going to have to deal with this because everything else lines up. I don't know what the deal is here. Okay. I'm just going to have to roll with this. Another check mark. Okay, now this side lines up. Got another check mark. Oh. Oh, I see. turns out I put this piece in the wrong place. Should have been over here. And these are just placeholders. These little pieces on top here. And another check mark. That's it. This is completed. There's one little testing strip here. On this page, it says how it works, and it gives you a demonstration for how it's supposed to function. Might have to manually turn it a little bit. To work out all the kinks. But you have to manually rewind it. Okay, let's see. 12 inches should be 1 foot. Yeah, that works. Or it did. Oh, maybe I just went a little too far. Yeah. Kind of looks like a certain famous spaceship, or at least famous in it's on TV. Not sure if I can actually say the word. But a little bit of a disclaimer here. The model can't be used for precise measurements as due to the materials and specific design, and it might have a certain error limit. Isn't the whole point of a measuring device to have specific measurements? Or precise measurements, I guess, I should say. And it breaks everything down for you, how the thing is supposed to function. Well, there you have it. Instant. Ooh, very blurry. Got some instant measurements from. Okay, that's getting ridiculous. Each chance I can zoom. Just trying to not show you part of my room, but. Can adjust the measurements between. You can see instant conversions between inches, centimeters, meters, and feet. Interesting way it's designed, though. The top two spins clockwise. The bottom one spins counterclockwise. Seems fairly accurate. You just got to remember to retract it every time. I goof somewhere. How do I manage that? I guess I was right at this point earlier. Curvimeter Stim Lab by UGears. Got the logo right there. Logo again, but no Stim Lab. It's just the UGears logo. It shows you have to rewind it to reset it. As mentioned earlier, thick rubber band, but it's thinner in some places. That's not my placement, it's just thinner for some reason. Well, there you have it. I'll play with this thing for a couple of days and give my review on it later. And see how fast it can go, what kind of materials this rubber band is best to go on. That may seem silly, but you never know. And in case you're wondering why I'm not saying why I haven't said the name of the certain spaceship it looks like, it's because I'm afraid that if I mention it, YouTube might flag me. I might be paranoid about that, but there's a reason I don't review copyrighted material. The only exception being Stitch, and not that I'm complaining, but I wonder why. I better not say anything. Disney hasn't come after me for that, so so I guess that's it until review time. See you then. it's been a few days now, and I honestly haven't found much to use this thing for. But I have been learning a few things about it. Now, first off, this thing is designed to where this point here acts as a starting point. This is the measuring point, and what the actual distance is indicated, the actual length. Sorry, this is the actual measuring point. Point up here. But this down here is where you actually start the measurement by. Now, when measuring, naturally you've got to reset. So, notice the different directions each wheel is going in. When you go back, however, it may or may not be perfectly synced up. And if you go far enough, and let's say you measure 5 feet something. Okay, you've got your measurement. You're ready to move on to the next thing. Do you really want to go back all the way through that? All the way through all of those feet? In order to get the measurement, in order to reset it to 0? Not really. So what you want to do is go back to the 0 mark here and reset these manually. Notice the reset directions on the sides here. Now sometimes you are almost at the complete end on one side and have to go all the way around to the other, to 0. So, I hope this isn't too annoying of a sound for you. Or you're going to be telling whoever's using this thing to stop it pretty quickly. Oop. And it's so easy to bypass the 0, so you may be doing this a few times. And there. And that may not be entirely perfect, but as you see, there is a little bit of slop here as well. Now, one thing to keep in mind is that while the inches goes from 0 to 12, because once you hit 12, of which for some reason you can't really see that, almost looks like 0/12 when that's really 12 inches. The inches go from 0 to 12. The centimeters go from 0 to 100, I think it is. Yeah, 0 to 100. Good. I don't use centimeters that much. It did automatically occur to me that it was 100 centimeters in a meter. But with the feet, it only goes up to 10. So if your mindset is, say, like 0 to 12, 0 to 100, you might be thinking 0 to, say, a mile, which is what? 5,280, I believe. And so you're just zipping around there, or at the very least you think it's going to be 12 foot. And so you hit that 10, and you think, oh, I've got to. So you hit this 10, and you're like, oh, I've got 2 more feet to go through. But no, the 0 is right there. And so you may be zipping past it a couple of times. So It's also a fairly decent pocket-sized gadget. You could probably put it in your pocket for transport. But I wouldn't really recommend it. I mean, it is made of wood. It can easily break. It's not made of metal. Of course, with all these edges, if it were made of metal, it would probably cut into you. Be very uncomfortable, especially if you were sitting. I mean, ultimately, for what it is, being a supposedly children's toy, fairly compact size for the mechanic. Also, in this How It Works page, it mentions down here, due to a cycloidal mechanism. There's a word for you. Come on, focus. Yeah, due to a cycloidal mechanism, the disc 8, which is this over here rotates a pinwheel 9, the next piece over here, with a scale 10, and on it 10 times slower. That just means that as the main wheel is turning, it operates all this so that everything is at the proper speeds to give you the proper measurements. But note how this one is actually gear fed, all those teeth in there. Well, this one, this cycloidal mechanism, they call it. Again, that's a word for you. Cycloidal. The way this actually works is that, as the arrows show here, as this spins this way, this technically spins this way. And how this works is by each of these teeth, if you can call it that being pressed against the side by this. Basically, it's spinning upwards. It's spinning around and out, causing these teeth to press into the grooves. But the grooves want it to go in the other direction. So as this is spinning, the wood is being forced against itself right in here. Right in this groove. So that, I think, is... So I'm a little concerned about this because that means extra friction. It may not mean much in the long run, but this is all wood. There's absolutely no metal in this. So, as long as you don't try to make it spin too fast, you shouldn't have much friction building up. You shouldn't have much heat building up due to friction, but I don't know. It just seems to me like they could have designed that better. And besides, these pieces here are pressing against these holes here. So that means there's even more friction and more heat buildup. Now, there is the wax that was put in here, but all substances are going to heat up. And wax is a I'm not quite sure what the actual term is. It's somewhere in between a liquid and a solid. So it's going to transfer heat rather well. So as long as no one tries to pretend this thing is a race car or something, then you shouldn't have any trouble. Now, you might be thinking that if it spins fast enough, the air is going to cancel out the heat. Well, this is completely enclosed. So, no, we're talking... no, and I may be rambling at this point. The point is that this friction would concern me a little in the design. And it may not even be an issue. I don't know. I graduated as an electrical engineer, not a mechanical one. what else to say. Forgot to mention, my total construction time was approximately 1 hour and 20 minutes. And by the way, I was wrong before about the what the UGears site said the estimated total construction time would be. I said it would be 1 hour. It actually said it would be 2 hours. I guess I'll just give it my rating of 4.5 out of 5 stars. That's what I want to give it. The only thing stopping it from being a full 5 stars, the only thing stopping it from making it a full 5 stars is the amount of slop in this thing. Right, you can easily wiggle various parts. Right. And if you can wiggle the parts at any particular time, then exactly how much error is being delivered with each measurement. Well, but like I said, it's a handy little gadget, and as they say in the instructions, as sort of a legal disclaimer, it's not meant for precise measurements. It's not meant for precise measurements. It's supposed to be a kid's toy, but adults can use this. Although, really, there's only been one thing that I've found there's only been one thing that I've found any real use for it, though. I'm using it to measure sheet metal to fit my chair. One foot 7 inches. That'll do for that. Nearly 17 inches. 16 and actually, well, about midway. 16 exactly. you may have noticed that I don't have any wings on my chair anymore. I was having a little backing issue with my chair, and I've been using a blanket to serve as a backing, to make sure that this doesn't fall through. I didn't show the complete construction process, but it works. Piece of sheet metal there, pretty simple, pretty basic, held in with rivets. I'd actually thought for a while that sheet metal would be the way to go, but up until now I haven't really had a way to properly measure it without trying to manhandle the entire roll and basically fight with it. Because you would have to loosen the clamp, roll it out some, tighten the clamp back up, and all the while, fight with it to make sure it did completely unroll. Not completely unroll. I mean, it's not spring-loaded or anything, but I like to try to keep it tight for storage reasons. Anyway, that's all I've got for you this time. So, I guess that's it. I guess this will be living in my shop next to my sheet metal roll so that I can easily access it, because I do have future plans. Anyway, hope you've enjoyed this. So until next time, God bless.